But rallies will be shorter in the future and more compact, and may run over a smaller number of stages as Richards tries to package the sport for television in a more effective way, and in the process tries to make the whole championship a bit more user-friendly for everybody involved, including of course the team personnel.
It helps more logistically. You can have your people more working at home and doing development work than going around and sitting around in service areas. It helps also, for sure, the cost. You bring the cost down of when the team is out, which helps, and you've got more money left to make developments and get the car faster. And people normally, you travel less, so people can sleep a little bit longer. No, it's for sure, it's a way forward, and also for the television and for the spectator is much better.
They are sentiments shared by almost everyone who takes part in a 14-round worldwide series that runs from January through to November and traditionally has December as its busiest month for development work.
I, along with every other member of staff here, have given an incredible amount of commitment and long hours in the last 5 years since we were lucky enough to be awarded the Ford contract. That there's been many sleepless nights on a lot of people. By a lot of people, there's probably now more sleepless nights by me than anybody else, just thinking about the whole strategy and everything, how we can actually achieve our goal this year. But really, it has all been down to the team here that we've built up around us, and obviously now, as I say, the infrastructure and the resources that we're building up.
The driver lineup has been a fairly consistent element of that over the past few seasons, with Colin McRae making headlines as the highest paid driver in the series when he joined, and Carlos Sainz very much on the pace now as the season headed towards its close.
It's no secret that we would be quite happy to obviously retain our current driver lineup. I think the championship positions this year prove that we've obviously got it right. I think the way that the regulations are changing slightly next year, that this year only your 2 nominated drivers can score manufacturer's point, whereas next year you nominate 2 drivers, but if one of those drivers retires, your 3rd driver can then actually pick up the points. And we've done the points tally system based on that for next year, as to where we are in this year, and we would actually have a much bigger lead than what we've currently got. Because at the moment Ford have actually got the best reliability record on World Championship events after San Remo. So I think that again goes to prove that we've really got the perfect driver lineup.
Probably they'd be happy to keep the current car as well. As we said, the Focus has only just approached the peak of its development, and it's just starting to deliver predictable and dependable performance, again as shown in the end of season results.
We will continue at the moment to use the current Focus for 2002, 2003, and we're looking at a replacement car maybe for 2004.
A lot of performance improvements come through tyre technology. It's an entire science of its own, is this, and though the planning and thinking goes on in remote laboratories, the proof has to come here on the stages. As we've seen with other teams, the tyre evaluation runs take up a lot of time on a test stage, mostly because the tyre companies will bring so many different variations to the test, and the team will then run through them very methodically, the repetitious nature of the day ensuring that there is an acceptable degree of consistency as they select cut, compound and also constructions.
I can make a big difference on different surfaces, so we're trying different surfaces with different tyres, different tyre sizes, cuts and so on. Some of the tyre profiles are already made more for muddy conditions than for harder conditions, so we try all the different possibilities.
By now it was quite late in the season and the balance of the championship had begun to shift away from Tommi Makinen and Mitsubishi. At the precise moment, the team introduced a new car, perhaps by coincidence, but more likely not, as we know. With Colin McRae and Tommi Makinen tied at the top of the points table and Carlos Sainz close behind in 3rd place, The time had come for maximum effort, especially since it could all go down to the wire on the RAC once again. The aim of testing on a stage like this can't just be to try and run faster and faster all the time. That adds too many variables into the equation and makes it hard for the team to evaluate the data. Of course, it's not possible to remove all the variables, but a good level of balance can be achieved quite quickly and a baseline can be established.
Weaknesses, probably as any competition car at this level, you push the performance to the limits all the time, so you do tend to, you will find weaknesses. The good thing about the focus in the M Sport team are that the same things don't happen twice, so it's a sort of process of elimination, and it's going very well at the moment.
In order to maintain a level from which to work, it's often better if the driver works to the pace notes as they're read to him and tries his best to tackle the stage the same way every time. So there are many reasons why both crew members should take part in the testing, sharing the workload and sharing the benefits. And if you do get the chance to watch Nicky Grist on a test, you'll see that he takes at least as much interest as does Colin McRae in the technical element of the day, especially in the tyre choices.
Nicky's very good at feeling the car as well. A lot of navigators sit there and read the notes, but Nicky gets into the technical side of it as well, and it's good for the navigator to be on the test and do that, because there are quite a few occasions on rallies when we do need to work in the car ourselves, so if the two of us are there and we have a rough idea what we're doing, it's better.
The pair have been together since 1997 and won a dozen rallies in that time, and the benefit of that stability is also becoming evident.
The timing element you still need to do, and I think it's quite important that as a pairing that you've both got an understanding of what's happening with the car and what difference one tyre makes in a certain condition, because then at least you can remind Colin of that during an event, and you remember the TJ or the TZ tyre work quite well, and and it's surprising.
Nicky Grist has sat beside some of the best drivers in the sport, including his boss at M Sport, Malcolm Wilson, and of course Ewan Kankinen. And like Colin McRae, he brings all that experience to bear just as forcefully on testing as he does in competition. So this Sweet Lamb stage is no soft option.
The time after the sort of fourth run of the day that's the time set. We'll never go quicker than that, because that's as quick as we can go with that piece of road. The thing that makes it quicker is making improvements in the car. So really the difference would be maybe just a wee bit smoother than you would be on a rally. On the quicker stuff, maybe a bit quicker in some of the really fast bends when you know exactly the severity of them, but really there wouldn't be a great deal of time between the times we do on this road at the end of the day or the times we would do on a rally on this road. The car would just be a bit straighter, a bit neater, which makes it easier to feel the changes you make.
With the championship balance resting firmly between McRae and Makinen as the season drew to its close, few would have bet on Mitsubishi's new Carisma when its opposition was the well-tried and highly developed Focus, and the drivers were McRae and Sainz, three ex-champions all going for the same crown.